All right, welcome back, everybody, to Dubai, and we're starting to get serious. We're into the third round. We're getting into the big matches now, and we're starting with a bang. This is the first match of the day: Tjen versus Anisimova. Both won a couple of days ago. Tjen won a couple of days ago. Anisimova didn't have to play Krejcikova, so she is playing her first match since that Pliskova loss back in Doha, or that retirement. So let's see how Anisimova looks, because it's the first time we've seen her since that moment. Tjen's had a couple of good wins to start this tournament off, beating Yastremska and then beating Fernandez in straight sets. So that's going to be fun to see her form. And the winner of this will play either Andreeva or Christian, who are playing later. Andreeva got a walkover as well. And then later we've got, there's some crazy matchups. Raducanu is taking on Ružić. We've got Bencic Svitolina, which is like a battle for top 10, I think, which is really fun. We're not going to watch all these, but they are going to be on. Svitolina and Bencic are sort of like 9 and 12 in the world. That is a blockbuster. Gauff Mertens, interesting match there. Linette versus Towson. Jovic versus Pegula is kind of cool as well. And then, of course, the match that I think most people will probably, or at least most people in the stadium at the end of the day will be waiting for is Eala versus Castella. I'll tell you though, we've got some matches over in Doha that there's one match I'm very excited about. Alcaraz versus Roya is happening as well. We've got Sinner versus Popyrin, but let's be honest, it's Medvedev Tsitsipas. Like, that's the only match of the there's a lot of good matches, but the only one I'm really excited for is Medvedev Tsitsipas. I'm so pumped for that one. I can't wait to watch that one. We've cleared the schedule. We're only watching that because who knows what's going to happen. Medvedev, he might be on one. Like, he had a bit of a last week in Rotterdam. He went on a little bit of a tear, and then he also went on a bit of he had a weird kind of first round too. So I'm excited to see Medvedev Tsitsipas. We love that match. But it's a busy day. How we doing? Chat, are we ready? Who is winner, Linette or Towson? I have no idea. Probably, I don't know, maybe. But yeah, pretty full on day. And then we've got quarterfinals. So this is what happens when we have a 1 week Masters, is that we just go straight into the serious shit. Like, we don't get days off. There's no, we'll wait, and then tomorrow there'll be another match, and blah. No. There's like, you go quarterfinal, semifinal, final. It's like bang, bang, bang. And this tournament's going to be over by Saturday. So there is no rest for anybody. Everybody's got to play every day now. Let's go, Janice from the Philippines. Hey, let's go. It's going to be interesting, though, because Tjen has played big hitters, and we've seen that does seem to be a little bit of an issue. Now, she was playing so well against Fernandez when she had the time to hit the ball, and she was running around her backhand, hitting forehands. She was playing so well, and her footwork was so good. But when you're playing one of these big hitters, the issue you have is that your footwork, you lose that little bit of extra time. And the footwork for Tjen is going to have to be even better than it was against Fernandez if she's going to avoid hitting backhands, or at least try and hit more forehands, which is what she was doing so well against Fernandez. So, yeah, she's going to have to really, really be moving well against Anisimova, because Anisimova hits it twice as big as Fernandez. And like I said, Tjen has played some big hitters this year, and it's been a little bit tricky. She plays Swiatek in Doha. That's just a tough matchup, right? Swiatek's just tough. But Pliskova, Samsonova, two of the biggest hitters on tour. She lost both of those matches in Abu Dhabi and Australia. So this is going to be, and this is one of the biggest hitters, right? Anisimova is, you've got Sabalenka, you've got Raducanu, you've got Anisimova, right? They're the three biggest hitters in the world right now. So this is going to be interesting. And they've never played before, first time meeting. Tjen has played a couple of players as tall as Anisimova, because Anisimova is like around 6 foot, with varied results, 3 wins, 3 losses. She did beat Haddad Maia, 11-1 over in Doha, but Haddad Maia is not in great form. She did beat Lepchenko last year in the US Open qualies, which she's a tall player, but then she lost to Lepchenko about a month later. So yeah, but Pliskova Samsonova, mainly Pliskova, is probably the best comparison to Anisimova. So Tjen's going to have to figure out what went wrong against Pliskova and try and reverse that, but then do better, right? It's going to be really tough. Also, she probably has to rely on Anisimova making some errors, because that's big hitters, and that means you just got to get everything back. Because the more shots that Anisimova has to hit, the more likely she's going to miss one, right? And that's what Pegula did so well at the Australian Open. So if Tjen can kind of maybe watch what Pegula did in Australia and see how she dealt with Anisimova, because she had a lot of slices in Pegula. She was slicing it, mixing it up, and directing the power of Anisimova, and not really trying to, hit with Anisimova. It was more just like, be a backboard. Then maybe Tjen can get the upset. So we'll see. We will see, but it's not going to be easy. Also, Barty, by the way, has played Anisimova, so we know we love that Barty comparison. Barty beat Anisimova twice in their careers, one at the semifinals of the French and one in the fourth round of the Australian Open. So, again, if Tjen wants to get some tips on how to beat Anisimova, maybe she could go look at Barty and see how Barty was able to do it. But then again, Anisimova is way better than she was 4 years ago when she lost to Barty. But here we go. I'm interested to see how Anisimova looks, because she obviously had that issue last week against Pliskova and had to retire in the final set. So we'll see if she's actually ready to go. A lot of players are hurt right now. A lot of players are all beat up and in pain. Go Southeast Asia, yeah. Southeast Asian tennis is doing a job this in the last 12 months. Since Eala broke out, it's sort of inspired the entire region to do well. All right, players about to walk out on court. And we are ready to go. So we've got this match, and then in a few hours, we've got Medvedev Tsitsipas. And then shit gets crazy when we start going to... we go to the night matches, and we start watching some crazy tennis. Especially the Eala match is going to be... that's going to be something. All right, let's see how Anisimova does. All right, here we go. Now, Tjen has only ever played one top 10 player. That was against Swiatek last week. So she's played two top 10 players in 2 weeks, which is actually... even if she doesn't win this match, Tjen, it's still a great accomplishment, that she's starting to be able to play the best of the best. She's also climbing up the rankings slowly. But yeah, she played Swiatek last week, which was her first top 10 opponent. And this is her second in 2 weeks. It's actually her third top 20 opponent in as many weeks. So that's also a good thing, because she also hasn't played that many top 20 players. So her last 3 events, Abu Dhabi, Doha, Dubai, she's played 18-2-6. And there are her only 3 players that she's played in the top 20 in her career. So it's a great thing. If she wins, obviously it's a great thing. But the fact that she's only getting, the last 2 tournaments she's being stopped by top 20, that's not a bad thing. It means that she's beating everybody else, right? She's beating a lot of other players. So that's always a good sign, even if she's, it's really weird, because people always look at, I know with with certain players, people look at, she only made the second round. She lost in the third round. That's not a good result. you gotta see who they lost to though, right? So like you might lose second round, third round, second round, in back-to-back tournaments, but if you're losing to Anisimova, Swiatek, you're losing to like top 20 players, then you're doing all right because you're winning the matches that you're supposed to, but then you're getting stopped by the big names. So that's, and you just need either a breakthrough against one of these players or you just need a bit more luck with the draw and you're going to go further than the second round or the third round, right? So, yeah, don't always listen to the people that are like, oh, she's not that good because she only made the second round. Yeah, but look who she loses to, right? Or who she's getting stopped by. And if you're getting stopped by top 10 players, you're doing pretty good. You're not doing too bad. All right. Not too many people there in the house, but that's just because it's the first match of the day, and that usually doesn't happen. Usually don't get too many people there early in the morning. All right. And Tjen needs to serve well. She has to serve well. Tjen will be overwhelmed by Anisimova's flat forehand. Well, we'll see. Anisimova might not be having she might be having an off day, and that could help for sure. If Anisimova's not hitting clean, then this could get interesting. I'm excited for Tsitsipas Medvedev. I hope Tsitsipas pushes Medi because that's when things get fun. When Medvedev wins easily, we don't get any fireworks. But when Tsitsipas starts to get the better of Medi, that's when Medi starts to meme. But we'll watch that one later. That's my match of the day, I think. I mean, Eala versus Castell is good as well. But I think match of the day for me, just because of the history of their rivalry, has to be Medvedev Tsitsipas. Like, that's just got so much behind it. I mean, Jovic Pegula is probably up there as well as match of the day from a generational point of view. The new gen versus the of American tennis versus not the old generation because obviously Pegula's still going, and she's not old, but yeah, that Jovic Pegula match is interesting too. A current top 10 American versus a future top 10 American, a generational kind of clash. And I have a feeling that Gauff versus Mertens is going to be like a 3-hour slog. I don't know why. We watched Gauff yesterday and she was lucky to get out in straights. I feel like Mertens is going to push her. I'm pretty sure Mertens Gauff have played this year, right? Didn't we watch them? I swear we've watched them. Oh no, they haven't played this year. They played, who was I thinking of? Maybe I'm thinking of someone else. Gauff did beat Mertens pretty easily the last few times they played, but 23 US Open. Oh, really? That was ages ago. I hope they have a dance-off. Yeah. Dance-off, bro. By the way, Tjen's ranking, which is always super important, live ranking right now, she is currently ranked number 36 in the world. If she loses this match, depending on what happens with Eala, she should, no matter what, Tjen's got a career high ranking after this week. If she wins this match, she will go to number 31. And if you watch the preview with Eala and even the match with Eala that we were talking about yesterday, there are 4 players that are trying to get seeded for Indian Wells. Because remember, top 32 seeds at Indian Wells is a big, big tournament. So being seeded at Indian Wells means you don't play Anisimova or Sabalenka or Swiatek guaranteed until the third round. So if you get seeded, you avoid playing the top guns until later, at least the third round. So that's huge. And you get a bye in the first round, which is great. You get a day off, right? So there are a bunch of players that are trying to get to that top 32. And between Christian, who's number 32 right now, and Lee, who's number 39, or even if you go down to Buzkova, who's number 40, there's less than 100, there's like 50 points between 40 and 32. 50 points. That's just that's just one. This win could decide it, right? This win and Eala's win, Eala versus Castella is basically, unless Castella's playing next week, that is the winner of that still in the chance of getting top 32. The loser, might be unseated at the Indian Wells, and when the draw comes out and we see if the loser of tonight's match does get unseated and has to play Sabalenka second round, we'll all be talking about how important that match was that they won, right? For Chen, this is a very tough ask. If she does win this match, she'll get into that top 32 for now. But if she loses, she's going to have to rely on probably some retirements. Now, top 36 might be enough because you've got Kessler who's injured. You've got Zhang who's injured. Raducanu has been sick lately, but I think she'll be fine for Indian Wells. Keys hasn't played. Osaka hasn't played for a while. Kalinskaya had a little bit of an issue yesterday. Who else has been on the injury list? Mboko should be fine for Indian Wells, but she pulled out this week. So, yeah, there's a few. There's a chance that you could be, if you're number 36 in the world, you could get into, be number 32 seed, right? Because people ahead of you pull out. But to guarantee a top 32 seed, you want to be in the top 30. So Chen winning this one would help her get to that. If she loses, she's going to have to rely on other things to happen. I think if she loses, she probably needs Eala to lose to Castella to at least keep her above Eala for that thing. Game's about to start in 20 seconds. Here we go. Anisimova is going to serve. Let's see what Chen can do. Anisimova needs a good win. She hasn't had a good win since Melbourne. Last week had to retire in the third set. Even against Pegula in Melbourne, she wasn't the greatest. All right. I think I said Anisimova in a close straight set, so we'll see. Only two Romanians are still playing, Cristea and Christian. Yeah. All right, first serve is a fault, second serve. Is Anisimova double faults, I think. Or was that an ace? Second serve ace? It was. Jesus, all right. We're doing that, are we? 15 love. All right. Anisimova coming out here with a second serve ace. Sure. Sure, why not? Return goes out by Chen. 30 love. As Anisimova serves the forehand of Chen. Return goes wide. 40 love. God, it's that time of day where it's just like the courts are really shiny. It's hard to see. It sucks. I don't know how they fix that, but it's just that time of day where the courts are really glary. 40 love. And the ball's hard to see. Return goes into the forehand of Anisimova. Backhand can't be picked up by Chen. Anisimova 1 love. Hey, TJ, thank you for the 2 years. Appreciate that. Thanks for sticking around. All right, 1 love. Yeah, I don't know how they fix that issue with the courts. It is super bright. All right, so Chen, WTA 1000 record, 3 wins, 2 losses. Anisimova, more wins, more losses. 58 wins. So it's a little bit of difference in experience at this level. By the way, chat, where are we watching from? Let me know in the chat where you're watching from. As Chen serves. A fault, second serve. Serving in the back end of Anisimova. Anisimova hits out in the return. 15 love. California in the house. What's up? 15 love. Sunny Wales. That sounds like a lie. Sunny? Isn't it like midnight? St. Louis, Saudi Arabia, Virginia, Dubai, Philippines, New York, Auckland, Chicago. 15 love. Serve the back end of Anisimova. Backhand slice from Tjen. Goes long. And it's 15-all. Oh, it's bucketing down with rain. That sounds lovely. 15-all. Serve again. Oh, double fault from Tjen. 15-30. Chance for Anisimova to break straight away. Eala has beaten top 10 several times, but lack of title champion. What for? Jeez, you're harsh. Forehand rally. As we get a forehand in the net by Tjen, it's 15-40. I'll tell you why. Because up until Miami last year, she wasn't even in the top 100. So, the reason she doesn't have a title, or a WTA title, and like a challenger event, is her highest title, is because she didn't have access to the main events because she was not on the main tour. She was on the second tour trying to, like, grinding it out. So she's only really been on the main tour for a year. And she almost won Eastbourne. She had championship points there. But yeah, I mean, Mukova could beat top 10 players as well. And she only had one title up until last week. So, and she's been around for a lot longer. So, I mean, there's players out there that have been up the top and have beaten some of the greatest players of all. I mean, look at Davidovich Fokina, right? He hasn't won a title, and he's been up the top. He's been around the game for a long time. As we had a double fault, and there's the break. 2 love. And he's beaten guys like Djokovic on clay and shit like that, and he still hasn't got a title. So it's definitely not a... Just because you beat top 10 players doesn't mean you automatically get titles for that. And it just shows how difficult WTA titles are. But she'll get one. She will get a title at Eala, don't you worry. All right. Anisimova 2 love. Serve with the back of Tjen. Return goes into the back of Anisimova. Tjen with a backhand slice. Goes long. And it's 15 love. Two Southeast Asians in the final 16. Yeah. Yep. That's a big accomplishment for Southeast Asian tennis. There's Tjen with a slice in the net. And it's 30 love. Big accomplishment for Southeast Asian tennis. To be fair, fans of Eala are well aware that she needs to improve her serve and a title will come. Yeah, okay, I guess. I mean, I feel like I don't think her fans are that bothered by her serve. I think it's more that people that don't like her are bothered by her serve. like to use her serve as an excuse to get to hate on her, but, you know, whatever. I don't think her fans are, like, critical of her in that way. I think they just love her no matter what. As we're forehand now into the backhand of Anisimova. Anisimova, it's a wide 30-15. There's a bit of fault from Anisimova. Second serve. Second serve is a double fault and it's 30-0. But look, everybody has improvements, right? I mean, look at Coco Gauff is the greatest example right now. She hits double-digit double faults, but look, she still wins Grand Slams though. So it's like you don't have to have a perfect game. Your game doesn't have to be perfect in every way. You don't have to have a great every shot, right? Some players don't have a good backhand and they still make finals. Some players, second serve is a problem and they still win stuff. So it's not a requirement that she has to have everything perfect to win a title. You can win a title without a shot, without a backhand or without a serve, It's going to be hard, but it's not unheard of that players without a certain part of the game. I mean, Raducanu won the Australian Open. She doesn't have a good net game. Doesn't need it, right? 3-11 Anisimova. Her fans are not real tennis fans yet. Oh, so you're the gatekeeper, are you? All right. Can you get out the way? We stop gatekeeping. Let's just open the gates and let anybody in. Stop being a gatekeeper. Those fans are annoying. Her fans don't have tennis etiquette. Who cares? They're enthusiastic and they're excited about her. So let's just enjoy it. But they cheer double faults. So who cares? Let them cheer Eala. Let's have some fun. Why do we have to gatekeep the fandom? What's a real tennis fan anyway? Is there a test you have to take? Because I didn't take it. I missed that day. Was I supposed to take an exam about how to become a real tennis fan? Am I supposed to sign something? I didn't. I'm sorry. I didn't go to that. I didn't go to class that day, obviously. Tjen, Eala, Jovic, all great new talents on the WTA. Oh, yeah. And that's just 3 of them. There's so many more. There's heaps more as well than just those 3. I mean, Mboko is definitely on that list as well. And she is the best of all of them right now, right? I mean, Jovic has been great. Eala's had great moments. Chen's been doing well. But Mboko is the top of the top at the moment in that new generation. By the way, 12 months ago, I want to do this for a fun experiment. 12 months ago, let me have a look. Because right now we've got Jovic, we've got Mboko, we've got Eala, and we've got Tjen, right? 12 months ago. So Jovic is currently ranked 20. 12 months ago, she was 162 and she was playing a challenger event. She actually got to the final of it. No, sorry, not even a challenger. She was playing a W35, which is one of the first stepping stones into professional tennis. She was 162, right? I think Jovic had been mentioned though, so it wasn't like she was unheard of 12 months ago, but she was not anywhere near as close as good as she is now. Mboko, she's currently number 10. And 12 months ago, she was playing the same level of event as... She was playing a slightly higher level of event than Jovic, but we'll go back to the start of last year, because the start of last year, that's where it's more impressive for Mboko. She was 333 in the world. Jovic in the start of last year was 191, right? Eala, I think she was 150 at the start of last year, if I can remember. She's currently 47. All right, 30 love here. Yeah, she was 130. Well, she was 179 after the Australian Open. And then there's Tjen, who I think was around 300, right? There's Tjen, 40 love. Who's currently 46 and will be 36 after today. And she was 496 in the world. Holy shit. So Chen's had the biggest rise, and then on Mboko, then Jovic, and then Eala. But they were all unheard of 12 months ago, right? And now, Tjen, Eala, Mboko, and Jovic are 4 of the most talked about players in the world. It's crazy, man. 40-15. 40-15. For every young player with a lot of hype that hasn't quite made it yet, 2 others will. But I mean, what's the definition of making it? So are you referring to Eala or are you referring to Jovic? Forehand goes wide by Anisimova. It's 3-1. 3-1, Anisimova. WTA has a bright future, yeah. Yeah, who knows what happens? 12 months from now, all those players I mentioned might be top 10, which would be crazy. But also not super random. All right, 3-1. Is it a backhand into the backhand of Anisimova, and then she puts away the smash. 15 love. What is wrong with you, Cam? I don't know. They haven't found it yet. But we'll keep looking, and we'll get there eventually. Hey, what's up, Mago? How you doing? Eala is top 50 and got $15 million in sponsorships. Cool. All right, 15 love. I'm not knocking anyone. I'm just saying that there are plenty of players. Okay, that's fine. As return goes to 400 Anisimova. Tjen goes down the line. Anisimova with a half volley in the net. 15-all. But look, this is what happens. I mean, look at Maya Joint, right? She's a good example. Even Deanna Schneider, right? There will be a time, because it's never always a straight line to number one, right? It's never just, well, and now I'm doing this, and then this, and now I'm number one. It's never like that, right? It always has, I mean, even Raducanu, right? She was outside the top 10 not that long ago. And now she's, about to be number 2 if she does well this week and makes the final, and she's 2 Grand Slams, and things can change quickly. But it's never a straight line from I start my career and I end it and I'm number 1. Like, it's never that easy. So there's going to be a time, just like there has with Joint at the start of this year, and even with Schneider last year. Because remember at the start of last year, I know at least me, I was like, Schneider's a hell of a player. And she hasn't quite gotten there yet. So Joint, she's dealing with that right now, where she's just not playing the way that she was at during last year. Jovic, Eala, they're going to have that moment. Mboko is also going to have that moment. She'll have a moment where she won't, things might go backwards. She might take a couple of steps back. But that's okay. That's normal. Coco had the same, right? Coco, for years, had to deal with people saying that she was never going to be anything, which is crazy because she was always going to be someone that was amazing. It's wild to think that Coco Gauff was, now that she's got 2 slams, that people still try and, say that she's no good, which is crazy. But I remember like 2022 and 2021, people were like, oh, Coco's never going to win a slam. It's like, she's 19. She's 18. How could you... What do you mean she's not going to win a slam? She's got so much time on her hands and she's only getting better. And now she's got 2 slams, right? But she's only getting better. So it's funny to see when people write someone off after like 6 months. You're like, what do you mean? But there's always going to be a plateau, right? And Anisimova's kind of dealing with that a little bit this year, right? She had a great year last year, and then to start this year, she's having a bit of a slower start. Maybe some injuries and some expectations and pressure is part of that, but it's just all part of it. Surprise Chen's crowds don't show up so enthusiastic and turnout as the Eala audience do. Much more Philippines and Indonesia. Much more people in Indonesia and the Philippines. Less TVs in Indonesia, maybe. No, I don't think it's that. I think it's just there might be less Indonesians in Dubai. You know. And also, Chen hasn't had that great big run yet. Whereas, you know, Eala set the world alight when she had a run in Miami, right? Chen hasn't had that grand run yet. But her fans still show up. I mean, also, if you put Eala on first thing in the morning, she might not get as big of crowds. So the tournaments haven't if they put Chen and Anisimova on at night, maybe it would have been a bigger crowd. I'll tell you what they should have done. And I know they couldn't because of the scheduling. And they had to put this match on first because they got a day off yesterday, so it was only fair. But what they should do tomorrow, if Chen wins this match, or in the future, you got to put Chen Eala on back-to-back. Like, tonight's match, Mertens Coco, that's a good match, but imagine if it was Anisimova Chen and then into Eala Castella. That would have the Southeast Asian special, that whole night session. That's what they're going to start doing in the future. But tournaments will catch on to that. But first thing in the morning, what is it, midday? Midday in Indonesia, not Indonesia, midday in Dubai. Probably not the best time to go watch tennis on a Wednesday. Love 15. But putting Chen on before Eala, that's like, you got to start putting them together. Like on the same schedule or the same court. As Chen hits the tape, gets a little bit lucky. 15-0. Jovic Pegula on court 1. Why? Not center court? Yeah, that's a question I have as well. I think that's a bit strange. I think that should have been center court. I mean, look, Coco versus Mertens is a good match, but I think Jovic Pegula is more interesting personally. You got to put Raducanu on center court just because she's number 1 seed. I feel like that's a no-brainer. But yeah, Jovic Pegula I think deserved to be center court. I mean, Andreeva Christian in the next match, maybe it could have replaced that. But then again, maybe Pegula wanted to play at night, so who knows? But yeah, Jovic Pegula should have been on center court. I agree. It says center court on Google. Well, is Google wrong? Wait, hang on. Is it on center court? Maybe it is on center court. Hang on. I thought Raducanu was center court. Yeah, she is. It's on court. It's after Lynette versus they should. Yeah, I don't know. Andreeva's the defending champion, so that's why she got center court. So you go Anisimova Chen, first match of the day. Probably Pegula and Jovic didn't want to play first. Andreeva got center court because she's a defending champion. Raducanu got center court because she is the number 1 seed. And then Gauff Mertens' night match. Maybe they didn't want to play at night. Maybe Pegula wanted to play Jovic during the day. And the only option was court 1. So, yeah. Yeah. But if Andreeva wasn't defending champion, maybe they would have made the switch. But Jovic Pegula, that's I'm excited for that to see how that goes. All right, 15-40 here. Chen's in big trouble. Nah, that's all right. I misread shit all the time. All right, return goes to the forehand of Chen. Backhand from Anisimova. Chen with a slice. Anisimova with a volley. Too good. 5-1. Watched the Eala match live last night at the tournament. Amazing game. Hey, that sounds fun. That would have been a crazy atmosphere. All right. That would have been so much fun to be in that atmosphere. Oh, pardon me. All right. Also, Feast is playing tonight. We got in Doha, Rublev versus Marijan. Okay. All right, 5-1 as Anisimova misses the approach. Love 15. All right, love 15. We got a fault from Anisimova, second serve. As we had a double fault. I love 30. Can we stream Fonseca matches? His matches are on at such a stupid time. His matches, I was like, oh, we watch him. I was going to watch him yesterday, and then I looked at the schedule, and I'm like, well, there's no way that I can watch a match at 9 a.m. after I've been up all night, and then try and get some sleep to then be ready for 6 p.m. Like, I'm like, it's too early in the season to start doing like double shifts. As that goes out by 10, 15, 30. But hopefully, he's not playing tomorrow, but we might watch him later in the week if he keeps winning. Because I want to watch Fonzie too. I mean, we watched him once in Australia, he was injured, and it wasn't fun. So I want to watch Fonseca too, but this week is just so busy. And he's playing one of the tournaments that people aren't really paying attention to, unfortunately, because right now it's all about hardcourt tennis. It's all about Doha, Dubai. You know, those are the events that are getting the limelight. Clay court tennis right now is not really priority. You know, we've got Indian Wells Miami coming up. We'll definitely watch him. We'll definitely try to watch him over Indian Wells Miami. Miami for sure, because he has a great atmosphere in Miami. Like, he always gets such a good crowd. At least last year he did. So we'll try and watch him throughout that, but. Yeah, I'm bummed that they put him on. I mean, they're going to always put him on at night, which means first thing in the morning my time, or not even first thing in the morning, like lunchtime my time, and that's when I'm asleep. As Anisimova to 4-1 winner, saves 130 for 40. But yeah, I really do want to watch. I want to watch. Fonseca versus Berrettini would be really good to watch. It just sucks because the time zones are not friendly for that tournament. I mean, Delray Beach might as well not even be happening because that's happening way out in the distance. Anisimova saves both, gets the deuce. Yeah, quarterfinal Berrettini Fonseca. Oh God, I mean we have to watch that, don't we? Semi-final with Cerundolo Fonseca, we kind of have to watch that too. I mean, yeah, there are some matches coming up that we might watch with Fonz. But Dubai is taking up, and Doha as well with Sinner and Alcaraz. If Sinner and Alcaraz weren't playing Doha, we'd probably watch Rio more, to be honest. But yeah. All right, return goes in the back end of Anisimova. 400 from Tjen's a winner. And it's advantage Tjen to get back get one of the breaks. I can tell you this much though: we won't be watching it on if it's Saturday morning my time because I have to leave. I have a big event on Saturday night, so I'm not going to be here. And I'm coming back to watch the finals of Doha and Dubai. That's it. But so Saturday, Saturday morning. If Fonseca's playing Saturday morning, I can't watch that. Which I think will be a quarterfinal. So if it's Berrettini Fonseca, we might not be able to watch it. All right, backhand Anisimova. That's a winner. Back to deuce. Yeah, if it's a quarterfinals but okay, semi-finals we'll watch Fonseca though, probably. Sinner and Alcaraz probably win, and why waste your time? But it's not that. It's not about that. It's not like I'm choosing to watch Sinner and Alcaraz and not watching Fonseca. They're not at the same time. Fonseca will always be playing. It's the time that he plays. It's not who plays at the same time. Are you having a big birthday party? I wish. Advantage Anisimova. No, I'm just actually leaving the house for the first time in 48 days. Advantage Anisimova. First serve is a fault. Second serve. Second serve. As the return goes into the forehand of Anisimova. Forehand from Tjen. Anisimova back into the slice of Tjen. Into the slice of Anisimova, but she hits in the net and we're back to deuce. All right, deuce. If Fonseca wins against Matteo, who will be his next opponent, he might play Cerundolo. And we'll watch that. I'll make an effort to watch that. All right, deuce. As the return goes into the forehand of Anisimova. Forehand now from Tjen into the forehand of Anisimova. Tjen with the backhand slice. Into the net. Advantage Anisimova. But yeah, I can't... Like, I've got a... Saturday's going to be a long day. If I didn't have anything on Saturday afternoon and night, then I would. But Saturday is going to be brutal. I'm not looking forward to Saturday. It's going to be a long day. Backhand return goes out by Tjen. There's the first set, 6-1. Like, I'm looking forward to what I'm doing, but I'm not looking forward to the drive to where I'm going. And also, I'm not looking forward to the lack of sleep I'm going to get on Saturday. I'll tell you, if Sinner and Alcaraz both lose, I mean, that would maybe make it a little bit easier for me in my life, but that's not going to happen. So they aren't going to lose. They're going to keep winning, and we're going to keep watching because that's the deal that I made with myself. The game between Eala and Castella will play center court again, same time at midnight in Philippines. Yeah. But it depends on the Gauff match, because the Gauff match might go longer than the Raducanu match I'm expecting, so it could be more like 1 a.m. in Philippines, to maybe 1:30. All right, 4 winners, 3 errors by Tjen. 10 winners, 7 errors by Anisimova. By the way, a lot closer than maybe the score suggests. I mean, they both had chances to break, and Anisimova took them. 6-1, yeah, I mean, look, Anisimova was definitely the better player. She served a lot better. Tjen needs to get more first serves in if she's going to be competitive in the second. 6-1 first set. Eala won all night session matches on the Middle Eastern swing. Yeah. What's Eala's chances of beating Castella? I think she's got a good chance. Hope Tjen will come back in the second. Yeah. She's got to serve better, though. She's got to get those first serves in to at least give her a little bit of help. Because you can't second serve against Anisimova. That is not going to work. I can't see the ball during play. Can you? No. It's tough. It's rough out there. Trust me. I know. It's not easy. How does a role model without title champ WTA for more than years? Ha ha ha. By the way, Jody, do you have anything better to do than just like cut people down, like tear people down? Like, are you good? All right, 6-1. I mean, just let the Eala fans enjoy her success. Why you gotta tear her down? Let them have their fun. They're not hurting anyone. Let them express the joy, you know. And you do the same. I encourage you to do the same. You go and enjoy your favorite players and celebrate your favorites. It's much more fulfilling than tearing people down. 30 love. Especially nothing more cringe than I feel like there's nothing more cringe than telling someone that their excitement is dumb. Like, that is such a cringy thing to do in life. Like, who cares? Like, if somebody's getting it, like something, let them like it. Who cares? So cringy to be like, oh, that's so lame. No, who cares? Even though I joke about like people liking other sports and shit, but I love other sports. I just don't like cricket right now. We don't talk about cricket. 40 love. 40 love. As a return goes into the backhand slice of Tjen. 4 now from Anisimova. Into the net. All right, Tjen. Better start. 1 love in the second. We love our Eala fam here. Exactly. Not gonna be discourage people from supporting any player. You support who you want to support. Hey, F4, thank you for the 46 months. Wow, you're almost at 4 years. Jeez. Are we watching Medvedev City Pass? Hell yeah. Weren't you just making fun of English cricket? No, I don't think so. I think I was. I didn't think I was. We don't talk about cricket here. I don't know what you're talking about. Don't know what you're talking about. Definitely weren't talk. We don't talk about cricket. We're a tennis channel. Cricket is. I don't even watch cricket. Is cricket on? I didn't even know cricket was on right now. That's weird. Do they play cricket all year? I thought cricket was just a January sport. That's crazy. They play cricket all the time? That's news to me. All right. 15 love. First serve's a fault, second serve. I'm Irish, so we don't play cricket. Well, we do, but we don't really, it's not really a thing. I'm Irish. 15 love. As Anisimova double faults, 15 all. We were rooting for Alex match, praying for her to win the next round, and I know it was tough. Now, look, she's got a good chance tonight, but I feel like the expectation after beating Paolini is going to be much like... I don't know what the odds are if Castella is the favorite. I think she should be, but after beating Paolini, I think a lot of people are going to be like, "Whoa, you can beat Castella, right?" It's not that simple, though, because Castella's been in good form. All right, 15 all. As a return goes into the backhand of Anisimova. Anisimova in the net. 15-30. All right, chance for Castella. Castella. Chance for Tjen to get a break. I'm 7 hours early. All right, 15-30. Serve to the forehand of Tjen, returning to the backhand of Anisimova. Tjen slice into the forehand of Anisimova, but Anisimova hits out. 15-40. Break points for Tjen. All right. Here we go. Break points for Tjen to get the lead in the second. Return goes out. And Anisimova saves 1. All right. Serve again. We need a fault second serve. Second serve. Into the forehand of Tjen. Good return. Anisimova backhand to the slice of Tjen. Anisimova slice down the line. Tjen gets with a forehand cross court, but it goes long and we get to deuce. Now we get to deuce. So we've got Medvedev, Tsitsipas, probably in about 4 hours, I think. So a little bit of a break. The visibility of the ball is a million times better than the Lynette Townsend match. Yeah, I don't know what's up. Maybe it's just the camera. The camera's not set properly. There's a bit of slice down the line to the forehand of Anisimova. She puts it long and it's advantage Tjen. Yeah, mate, it's probably just the camera settings on center court. You know what it might be? The camera settings on center court, if they darken them too much, you can't see the sponsors at the back of the court maybe. And that might be they're trying to do a balance where you can still see the sponsors' logos at the back of the court because that's what they pay there to be, right? But then also it's still hard to see the ball, but the priority is seeing those logos at the back of the court. Because I'm sure those sponsors aren't going to be happy if you can't see their logos. So I think it might be a little bit of that, but also maybe camera angle, different camera angle might help. But yeah, it's really, it is brutal. At least for these first matches, it's tough. As with a backhand slice from Tjen, goes short. In comes Anisimova, passing shot Tjen, volley Anisimova, Tjen with a backhand lob. And Anisimova volley in the net. All right, Tjen breaks. 2-love in the second. Nice fight back. 2-love. To love. All right, back to Tjen. She's got the break now. As the return goes out by Anisimova, 15-love. It's higher up in the other match and pointing down. Okay, so maybe that helps. Maybe that helps it. All right, 15-love. But it is awkward, I can tell you. It's hard to see the ball. As we default second serve. Double fault Tjen, 15-all. $15-all. All right, 30-15. As we get a double fault. All right, 30-all. $30-all. As the backhand slice goes in there by Tjen, 30-40. All right, as Anisimova too strong, gets back to break. All right, Anisimova back on serve, 2-1. Tjen leads in the second. Yeah, Tjen double faulting. I mean, look, I don't think it's nerves. I think it's more the fact she's playing Anisimova. Like, if you're missing... I mean, she found out in the first set, right? She missed the first serve and then hitting second serve to Anisimova, who's just going to tee up and smack returns. That's that's where the double faults are coming, is that she misses that first serve. She's like, geez, I better make the second serve good. And then she's maybe trying and pushing a little too hard. Because if you miss your first serve against Anisimova, she will punish you on the second. Tjen is a slow burn type player, but she's a good learner. She can handle in 3, okay? That's what I'm saying. Playing top 10 players might have something to do with it. I mean, yeah, or just playing big returners. I think that's. I mean, she had the same problem with Pliskova, right? But she's doing better in this match than she was against Pliskova. Or at least she didn't. Did she break Pliskova? Maybe she did better there. But it was good preparation for this match. But Anisimova, the only difference is that Anisimova's at a way higher level of confidence right now than Pliskova. Why do they put them in the morning? Not good look for sunny court. Yeah, I know. It's tough to watch. It's a tough court to watch. But I think it's just a scheduling thing for the matches tomorrow. And it's probably broadcast. You know what it is? It's probably for the broadcast so that tomorrow, Anisimova Andreeva, if that's the quarterfinal, that'll be the first match and it will be on... Oh, actually, no, maybe not, because Americans are asleep right now. Okay, maybe not broadcast. But it is a scheduling thing where they want to try and give everybody the 24 hours to be prepared for their next match. So the winner of this match and the winner of the next match with Christian and Andreeva, they're going to play each other tomorrow first on center court. So they need to and that's why Lynette Towson's playing, and then Jovic versus Pegula, because again, they're going to play tomorrow, probably the second match tomorrow, or they might be first tomorrow, right? If it's Towson Pegula, and then tonight, the reason why Gauff and Eala's matches are at night is because they're going to play each other tomorrow night. Even if it's Castello versus Mertens, it's still going to be tomorrow night. So they're just trying to give everybody, as much time as possible between their third round and quarterfinals as they can. That's just the way they do the schedule for these tournaments. All right, 15-all. There's Tjen in the net with a slice. 30-15. Stop comparing Tjen to Eala. Instead, support them both. Who's comparing Tjen to Eala? 30-15. As Anisimova serves. As with a fault second serve. Deb, do you know what's going on? What's happening in the chat? Am I missing? What did I miss? I feel like this person's just yelling at clouds. I don't think anybody has compared anybody. I don't know what's going on. Anyways, 40-15. I think they're reading things that aren't there. Unless I missed something. Anyways, that goes out by Tjen, and it's 2-all. Americans are asleep right now. No, Deb, like I've said a million times, especially this time of year, Indian Wells, Miami, obviously better time zones, but don't stress it. I can handle the chat if it's this time of it's way too late. And luckily, I guess for the American audience, that Alcaraz and stuff are playing at night or playing during the day. So yeah, don't worry about sleep during this time. It's fine. I can handle the chat at this time. It's usually pretty quiet anyway. Anyways, 15 love. All right. As Anisimova puts up a sliced lob, but it's long. 30 love. Watching from Abu Dhabi. Hey, what's up? By the way, who the hell is comparing Tjen to Eala? Nobody's doing that. You guys are crazy. What are you talking about? No, I haven't seen one person be like, oh yeah, Tjen and Eala are the same player. Like, no one said that. You guys are just freaking out over nothing. Maybe you're on Twitter, and we don't do that here. Twitter is, go argue on Twitter. 30-15. Bringing that Twitter energy. What's going on? Yeah, don't stress. And the Medvedev Tsitsipas match, I'm sure it's not going to be... their fans are not going to go crazy, so... Just take your time, Deb. Just rest, please. Please. 30-15. Is it a 4 now in the net by Tjen? 30-0. Watching from Barcelona. Hey, what's up? I've been to Barcelona. Gaudi. 30-0. See, now I know that you're messing with me because people are now like just saying it for fun. Please don't compare Tjen and Eala. Okay, so no one's actually doing it. You guys are all just messing with me. Okay. Some were. Oh, well, I missed that. Let's be civil. DJ, it's the internet. I don't think people can be civil on the internet or friendly. I don't think the internet's a place for that. If it were, it'd be in a much nicer place. As a return goes in the forehand of Tjen. Backhand now from Anisimova as Tjen in the net. It's 30-40. 30-40. Well, yeah, we try and make this part of the internet as wholesome as we can. We try. But it's, at the end of the day, it's still the internet. The internet is savage. It's a rough place. 30-40. Now we got a fault second serve. Second serve into the back end of Anisimova. Tjen with the forehand. That's in the net. Anisimova gets the lead with the break. All right. 3-2 Anisimova. The set and a break. Oh, okay. That makes sense. All right. Okay. If everyone plays their part, then we'll see. Oh, well, look, we do our best to make this this community as civil as possible, but it's at the end of the day, it's sports and it's emotional. People get emotional. We all get emotional. But yeah, I don't see anyone comparing Eala to Tjen, so I don't know why people are getting so angry. What am I missing? And why are people getting so angry? They're definitely not the same player. We know that. They have totally different trajectories. They might be from the same region, but they're totally different paths, one to the other. So, and they don't even have the same game. So there's no comparison there except that they're from the same part of the world. Townsend's up 1-0 against Lynette. There you go. Right, Andreeva is playing cards. She's playing Uno with her coach. Is it Uno? It is Uno. Okay. God, I haven't played Uno in a minute. I need to play some... Chad, is there like professional Uno? Is that a thing? Could I become an Uno professional? There must be like... Is there like ELO ratings for Uno? There is. Wait. Uno professionals refer to top-ranked Uno players. Check. That would be crazy to put on the resume. Be like, what do you? Yeah, like I have an architecture degree. I have 100,000, 200,000 YouTube subscribers for tennis, and I'm a professional Uno player. That would gotta be crazy. That'd be so much fun. I could be the host of like an Uno. Like I'll just like commentate the Uno. I could commentate Uno. I feel like that'd be similar to tennis, maybe. Is there Uno rankings? Top player rankings for Uno. Hang on, it's an actual thing? What the hell? There's tournaments as well? There hasn't been a tournament for a while. Bring back Uno tournaments. All right, 30-15. You kind of look like my uncle. Hey, look, maybe I am. All right, 30-15. He got me into tennis back in the early 2000s. His favorite players were Pat Rafter and Quirton. Ah, lovely. Cougar Quirton needs more love. So does Pat Rafter. We need to start highlighting, and maybe I have to do this. We need to start putting back, because look, everybody knows about Federer and Nadal, Djokovic, right? Blah, blah, blah. Everybody knows about Sinner, Alcaraz, blah, 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 blah. Why are we not talking more about Gustavo Quirton? Why are we not making a documentary about Gustavo Quirton? The title is already there. It's Guga. I would watch that 3-part documentary series. Why are we not doing this? Why are we all just talking about, well, maybe we could watch a Federer and Nadal match exhibition? No. Guga Quirton. Bring back Guga. Anisimova 4-2. We need more Guga love. He needs to be... Well, he gets a lot of love, but he needs to be... We need more highlighting Guga Quirton. I feel like Nalbandian would be a better documentary. We need Nalbandian in the documentary. Like, he needs to be talking to the camera, especially about, like, playing Federer. Because I love that he didn't really rate Federer very highly. But no, Guga needs to be... We need to start highlighting 90s players, because we went from Sampras to Federer, and there's so many players in that generation, in the middle of that era, that don't get the respect that they deserve. In fact, they get disrespect. Because people are like, weak era, you're weak. Love 15. Weak era. You've never played tennis in your life if you think that was a weak era. Rios too? Yeah, Rios needs some love too. I mean, South American tennis in the 90s, I know European tennis kind of took over and Americans were obviously dominating too, but South American tennis in the 90s and the early 2000s were, like, especially in Argentina and obviously with Guga in Brazil and Rios in Chile. I mean, South American tennis was on fire the late 90s, early 2000s. And then Rafa came along and went, you know what? I'll be the king of clay now and nobody else will win a title because I am Rafa. And that was greedy. It was fantastic and it was amazing, but it was also greedy. I love 30. Like, he denied so many South Americans of success, did Rafa. Starting with Guillermo Coria, right? He stole his throne. The Prince of Clay was always Guillermo Coria. And then Rafa came along and kicked him off the throne and then never gave it back. And if you know, you know. 15-30. Yeah, back in the early to mid-noughties, the Argentine tennis was great. I mean, yeah, so good. That's why it's great to have Fonseca, because it's, we've always had, some really good crop of Argentinians, but Chileans are starting to, like, obviously with Tabilo, and Jarry a bit as well. But then with Brazil having Fonseca, it's like South American tennis is back. It's been. I mean, Delpo obviously was there, but when it comes to like those like clay court, I mean, Schwartzman was definitely holding up the flag for a while too, and flying that flag of South American tennis. But it's good to have like all three of those major countries doing well. And as Chen hits it out, it's 30-40. That's what tennis needs. We need that boost of from different parts of the world, not just Europeans winning on the men's side all the time. We need Americans, South Americans, Australians. Asia's got a good crop of players too, Just got to start beating the Europeans. Backhand slice into the forehand of Anisimova. But Anisimova in the net. We get to deuce. Europeans have had it too good for too long. It's about time some other continents get some love. By the way, Danny, we'll talk about Eala when we watch her. So please bring all those comments to the match later. There's a double fault from Chen. It's advantage Anisimova. Love the rivalry between Spanish and Swedish in the 90s and the 2000s. Yeah. Who is that postcard wall? Postcard wall is people in the chat that have sent postcards to the PO box. There's a link down below. Forehand to forehand rally. As Anisimova forehand again to the forehand of Chen. Anisimova forehand to the backhand slice of Chen. And Chen in the net. All right, 5-2. Anisimova's won 5 games in a row. She's going to serve this match. Okay. 5-2 Anisimova to take her spot in the quarterfinals, where she'll play the winner of Andreeva Castella. Andreeva versus Anisimova is fire. That's a fire matchup. That is a fire matchup. This was to be expected. Anisimova too good? Yeah. Anisimova just too strong, right? But again, like I said earlier in the match, even if Chen loses this, right? She's lost her last 3 tournaments. She's lost to a top 20 player. That's a good showing. She lost to Samsonova in Abu Dhabi. She lost to Swiatek last week, and she's losing to Anisimova. That is not a bad run. It just sucks that she's losing. She's not losing in the quarterfinals or the semi. She's losing early in the tournament. But still, that's a good run. Her first, and by the way, before Abu Dhabi, had never played a top 20 player. So she's had 3 losses to top 20 players. Her first 3 matches against top 20 players in her career. This is her second top 10 clash. So, again, just to put it into perspective, not bad results. Maybe not the best, match against those players. She hasn't been super competitive, but it's experience, right? And she's now going to be able to go away and go, okay, well, I've played, 3 top 20 players, 2 top 10. Also, probably a real benefit playing Anisimova and Swiatek because they're so different. Whereas if you played like, Raducanu or Sabalenka or something, you'd be like, okay, well, what happens when you play Pegula? But if you play Swiatek and Anisimova, you're going to learn a lot from playing both of them, right? Because they're totally different. And they're 2 different styles that the top 10 have, right? So like Swiatek, is kind of like Palini, kind of like Pegula, more like them when it comes to, having to rally. And then Anisimova is more like playing Sabalenka Raducanu because they're more about hitting, right? So good experience for Tjen, no matter what. And then if she ever plays these players next time, like if she plays Anisimova in the future, she'll know what to expect. She'll be able to hopefully plan better for it and be expecting, and know what she has to do better. She has to serve better. We kind of know that, but again, it's all good experience for Tjen. And if you're losing the top 10 players consistently, then you must be doing something right because you're beating everybody else. And you're making it to those matches. So you must be doing something right. All right, forehand from Anisimova. Into the forehand of Tjen. Anisimova forehand. To the slice lob of Tjen. Anisimova missed the smash. I think that ball was going out by Tjen. 30-0. 30-0. Serve again, Anisimova. Svitolina benches Jovic Pegula. Yeah, all fire matches. Those matches are going to be crazy. All right, 30-0. Oh, double fold Anisimova. Advantage. Nope, that was a let, was it? Huh. All right. 30-0 still, second serve. As a return goes forward of Anisimova. And Anisimova overhits it. And it's 30-40. Tjen to get one of the breaks back. $30-40. First serve was a fault, second serve. And this is over double faults, all right. Tjen gets one of the breaks back. Okay. Can Anisimova win a slam this year? Yes. But I think the expectation on Anisimova this year might stop her from winning a slam. Because, I mean, look at the Australian Open. She went in that, I think a lot of people were, well, look, Raducanu was probably the one people were picking. But Anisimova going to Wimbledon, she's going to be expected to make the final, and that's going to be a lot to handle. I think, Anisimova definitely can win a slam this year, but I think she might be better off. She might have a better chance next year when maybe, the results this year are not, unless she makes another final of like Wimbledon, then the year after, remember Ons? She made the final twice in a row, and everyone's like, well, she's going to win it the third time. And then she couldn't win it the third time. So I think for Anisimova, this is going to be a very tricky year to manage other people's expectations on her. So I wouldn't be surprised if she didn't win a slam, but then she wins one next year when maybe people aren't focusing on her as much. But we'll find out. Because, Wimbledon's going to be a huge pressure for Anisimova because that's probably the better chance, right? Her better chances against, was on the grass maybe than at the US. The US is a lot harder. But Wimbledon's her best chance. But I don't know. I just think, and especially with Raducanu can win all the tournaments that Anisimova has done well at. So that's a problem too, that Raducanu might take Anisimova's titles now that she's playing well. Like Wimbledon, for example, right? Anyways, double fault Tjen, 15-30. So I think she can win a slam this year, but I wouldn't be surprised if she didn't this year, and then next year, maybe under the radar a little bit more, goes on to take a slam. Because the expectation on Anisimova this year is huge, right? especially when we go to Wimbledon, she's going to be one of the, even if she's not in good form, people are going to be like, well, she's going to make the final. But then it's like Raducanu, Sabalenka, Swiatek defending champion, Pegula, and even Paolini can play on grass. And that's just the top players, right? There's a lot of players outside the top 10 that can also win Wimbledon. We've seen that before. Has it a 4 now from Anisimova? She overhits it, 30-all. Tjen is trying to hang in here. By the way, don't forget to like the video if you haven't already. We're almost at 300 likes, so appreciate that. As the return goes to forehand to Tjen. Tjen hits it long. Match point Anisimova. 30-40 to take her spot in the quarterfinals. And I think she'll be the first quarterfinalist of Dubai. Towson's up a set and a break against Lynette. So it's all happening. All right, first serve's a fault. Second serve. Second serve. Into the backhand of Anisimova. Tjen goes into the backhand of Anisimova. Tjen backhand down the line. Anisimova gets with a forehand cross court. Tjen. Forehand again to the forehand of Anisimova. To the forehand of Tjen as Anisimova. Forehand again to the forehand of Tjen. Into the forehand of Anisimova. Tjen with a slice. Into the forehand of Anisimova as Tjen. Forehand down the line. Anisimova gets with a backhand cross court. Tjen slices it. Into the backhand of Anisimova. Hits a winner down the line to finish. Beautiful end to the match. Anisimova back on the winner's board. And she's into the quarterfinals. All right. Good fight from Tjen, though, in that second set. She was up a break early. She broke Anisimova a couple of times. But Anisimova is too strong. And when you're playing Anisimova, you need to be serving perfect. Eala beats older players above 30 years old. This is why I think she can beat Kasea. Okay? But we'll watch her later. All right. Anisimova into the quarterfinals. All right. Here for Tjen, doubles partner of Eala. Still a good game from Tjen. Yeah. Again, like I said at the start of the match, it's learning. You know, she's playing these players for the first time. You're not going to beat Anisimova first time you play her. She's not. She's a tough player to play. I'll tell you, I really want to see Eala play Anisimova. I think that would be that could be a really interesting clash right now. I feel like that could be really interesting. We're not going to get it this week unless it's the final, but I think Anisimova versus Eala would be a really interesting matchup in the future, in the next couple of weeks. Maybe Miami, maybe Indian Wells, but I feel like that could be really interesting. But Tjen, like I said, third tournament in a row that she's lost to a top 20 player, so that's not a bad result. And she is only getting better. And she's into the top 40 for the first time in her career, so career high ranking after this week as well. What time is the Eala's match tonight? It's in like 8 hours? Maybe? Amanda too strong? Yeah. Yeah. And look, we said that coming in, right? That Tjen was playing so well against Fernandez, but it's because she had more time to run around backhands, hit forehands. You know, she had more time in those rallies. Whereas Anisimova takes time away from you. I mean, you ask Swiatek, right? Even Swiatek, you know, with her good footwork, can't run around, hit her, you know, hit the shots she wants to hit. So it was always going to be tough for Tjen to try and avoid hitting too many backhands to make the forehand work. But I feel like this is one of those learning experiences for Tjen where she goes, okay, well, if I want to be in the top 10, I want to beat these players, I need to have a solid topspin backhand. Not a good backhand. You don't need a great backhand. But just like a backhand that can, not just the slice the whole time, because the slice only gives Anisimova and big hitters chances to, like, you know, stand there and hit the ball. Where she needs something that, like Pegula, right? Just a solid, like, sort of like a a backhand that can direct power. So if it goes to the backhand, instead of it being like a slice where, it slows down the rally, just to be able to kind of like Palini, not a massive backhand, but just be able to direct the power a little bit better. And if she can get that, can work on that a little bit, that'll help her a hell of a lot, and she'll keep getting better and better, Because but I know this from playing and also from coaching. You do get, and we've seen this with like Dimitrov in the past, where if you have a good slice backhand, that's really, really good. It's great. But you can also get in a habit of just slicing, where, you'll slice a couple and then you'll hit a topspin backhand and you'll miss it and you go, oh, I'm just going to hit slice. Because slice, you can kind of get into like a bit of a loop where you just keep on slicing everything when maybe you shouldn't, and playing it kind of a little bit safe. So, and we saw that with Dimitrov a couple of years ago. I remember he used to always slice. And I'm like, what is he doing? Hit the topspin. And he will always just chop it. I'm like, what are you doing? And I think Tjen does get into that little bit too much, where she slices a little too much. Even though she's got a great slice. But it's just, she needs to make sure she's breaking it up with topspin as well. At least with a flat backhand as well, not just the slice every time. Tjen needs backhand if she wants to challenge top players. Yeah. And she will. Again, this is, you don't know where you stand in the world rankings until you play the top players. And now she has played a couple of top players. She can go look at the tape. They can make some adjustments, her and the coaches, and come back and try and, see what they have to improve, Cool. I don't know where those green hats, I can't get those green hats because I don't live in Doha. So if you could just send one to me, that'd be great. Or just stop. Can you stop, leading me on? Are you going to send one or not? I feel like you're just baiting me, and then at the end of the week you're going to go, oh, they sold out when I went there. Stop dragging me along, all right? I'm sick of this shit. Are you going to send me the hat or not? I want one of those hats. If you're not going to send it, that's fine. Don't get my hopes up. Don't give me hope. If they're selling out fast and you're not getting me a hat, if you're never going to get me a hat, you just tell me. Don't stop leading me on. Eala is good on hard courts, yes. All right. Does anyone have any final questions? Any questions? Excited to watch the match tonight? Yep. By the way, for anybody who's excited about Eala and you're in the Philippines, I'm going to give you a heads up now. The match is probably not going to start at midnight. It's probably going to start more at 1 o'clock. So if you are wanting to watch Eala tonight, and I know there's a lot of people talking about Eala, so I know a lot of you want to watch her. If you're in the Philippines, it's probably going to start later than midnight. It's not going to start at midnight because the match beforehand starts, I think, at 11:30 or 11 p.m. And Coco's match is probably going to go longer than an hour. Because even Raducanu's match that went for an hour, it pushed Eala's match to 12:30 a.m., right? So if you just make sure that you brace yourself that it might actually end up starting at 1 a.m. or 2 a.m., even 1:30, right? Because Coco's match could be a long match. Coco and Mertens, they could play, a 2-hour match, and that would push Eala's match into like 2 a.m., 3 a.m. So 1 a.m., 2 a.m. So just prepare yourselves, all right? I don't want everyone getting excited thinking it's going to start on time because it doesn't. It won't start on time unless Coco's match gets cancelled somehow. If there's a walkover, it might, but that's about it. So just brace yourself. It might start at 1 a.m. In fact, I'm expecting it to start at 1 a.m. Personally, I think it's going to start later than it's not going to start on time. Tennis doesn't work like that. Wouldn't be surprised if Mertens beats Coco, yeah. I mean, I wouldn't either. Coco, she won yesterday, but it wasn't it wasn't easy. We have a lot of coffee, don't worry. Yeah. No, I'm just bracing you all because I know that, like, if it doesn't start at midnight, I'm going to get a lot of people commenting, why hasn't it started? Coco Gauff is playing before. So if you want to watch Coco Gauff, and that way, if you can keep up to date with Coco Gauff, then you'll know when Eala is going to play because she plays straight away after. Thanks, Cam, for the advice. No worries. No, and I know because I'm saying this because there's a lot of new people to tennis, so people don't know that. Like, a lot of the Eala fans maybe don't know that tennis doesn't start on time, unless you're playing first match of the day or you're playing first match of the night session. If you're playing the second match of the night session, your start time doesn't. There's no start time. It's whenever the other match finishes. So we try our best to guess. But midnight would be optimistic unless Coco's match is really, really one-sided, which it could be. But if you're in the Philippines, brace yourself for a 1 a.m. start would be my advice. Yeah, not before midnight. Yeah, it definitely won't be before midnight. Because when's Gauff's match actually start? So yeah, Gauff starts at 11 p.m. Philippines time, but remember it starts they walk on court at 11. They start at 1:15, and then if it goes an hour and a half, then it's 1 o'clock, right? By the time Eala comes on. So again, 1 a.m. is probably when Eala will start, is my best guess. Anytime before that would be great, but I don't think it will be. I think it's more likely going to be later. Because even last night's match started later than I expected, and the first match went for an hour. So it's just how tennis is. Tennis is like that. Anyways, we're going to be back in a few hours to watch Tsitsipas versus Medvedev. Oh, I'm so excited for this match. Oh, I love this match. So make sure you join us for that. If you're wondering why I'm excited about this match, we'll do a whole history of why that match is iconic, why that match is one of the best matches on the ATP, one of the best rivalries on the ATP. It is this is Tsitsipas Medvedev. For those who don't know, is a proper rivalry, right? You look at Sinner and Alcaraz, and you're like, oh, that's a great rivalry. No, that's a great matchup. That's not a rivalry. That's just great tennis. Medvedev and Tsitsipas is a proper rivalry with two guys who over the time have not been friends. And they have expressed that in the matches they've played. They've played 15 times and there's been a lot of Medvedev's quotable moments have been against Tsitsipas. The small cat, bullshit Russian, what else? Kid that can't fight good. Like, pretty much Medvedev's like highlight reel of classic quotes have come from a Tsitsipas match. The only one was the Tennis TV bro was against Bublik. But so this is, and that's why another reason why we're going to watch it, because he might come up with another classic quote, which we love that from Medvedev. But yeah, Medvedev Tsitsipas is probably my favorite rivalry right now. It's actually a rivalry. They've only played once in 2 years. So this has been a long time coming for us Medi Tsitsipas rival fans. So I'm excited. We'll be watching that in a few hours, and then we got Alcaraz and Sinner coming up tonight as well. So it's a big night, and obviously Eala versus Castella as well. So big night of tennis. But Anisimova, she beats Tjen, overpowers Tjen, and gets to the quarterfinals. Anisimova, she's going to play with Andreeva or Christian, who are jumping on the court now. So 6-1, 6-3. I'll see you guys soon.